Y'all can do better than that. Welcome to the Early Childhood Opportunity Fund Workforce Pitch. It is presented by Agenda for Children, for Providers by Providers, and Go Be. And we're so happy to have you all here. So, we want to make sure that everybody understands why we are here. So the ECHO Fund, which we call it, the Early Childhood Opportunity Fund, is called the ECHO Fund, is a competition that is going to center around the workforce crisis in early care and education. We all know that we are struggling with bringing people in and retaining early childhood education teachers. So we went to the people who would know how to solve it the most because it impacts them the most, the early child care providers. So before we even start, I want you to give them a round of applause. These are some of the hardest working men and women on the planet, and we are often undervalued and not seen. But tonight, we see you. And I am so grateful to be a part of this, to make sure that we are always seen, because we care for the most youngest and vulnerable children. And we make sure that they're good, that they're okay, that parents can go to work, that parents can go to school, that businesses run because little people have somewhere to go. So we're going to start by, this funding was due to the LDOE Transform funding, and it's up to $50,000. I don't know about y'all, but that's big. I could take $50,000, right? So, and it's big because we're used to getting pennies. We're used to people saying, oh, here's the big nickel. That's what we call it. But when we know we need $1.25, right, to do what we do for our children and families and our teachers. So I want to say kudos to LDOE and kudos for Agenda for Children for saying, you know what, we want to pour back into the lives of the children and families we serve and the providers. So kudos. So how this is going to work, we have out of 25 submissions, we have 7 finalists. Y'all, it's good. I can't wait till y'all hear it. It's good. So they're going to come up. They each have 3 minutes to pitch, and then the judges will have 7 minutes to ask questions. In addition to that, they will deliberate, and then we will have a first, second, third prize, and an audience choice. Yes, the audience gets to choose. So what you need to do is make sure when that QR code comes up, you are voting away. And you can send the QR code, it's live stream, so you can go to our YouTube page, For Providers by Providers, and click the live stream, and your family can vote as many times as you like. And then there will be an audience choice. So again, I don't even think I said my name. I'm Rochelle Wilcox, and this is
Christy Gibbons.
And we are the co-founders of For Providers by Providers. And so we're happy to be here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring up Jen from Agenda for Children, and she has a little special presentation for us. Derek.
Oh, Jen, she has it.
Well, thank you so much for having us, and thank you so much for all being here tonight. I want to stop with the 2 of you, if you guys could come up here real quick, because one of the things is that the reason why we decided to do a pitch is actually because these 2 women right here actually won a pitch. And they not just won a pitch, they won a pitch at Harvard just a few months ago. They won something very competitive called the SANS Challenge, which is essentially something that also we have other folks in the room who have become finalists for this. And so New Orleans in particular has really done a great job of showing up when it comes to this competition. And what it does is it helps elevate the voice of folks doing the work. And so I said, well, if we were going to have a pitch here locally, I can't have Rochelle and Christy do the pitch. Because if Rochelle and Christy do the pitch again, they're going to win again, right? And that would just be problematic. And so, when I thought about Harvard and I said, well, how much money did you guys win? And they said, we won how much?
$11,000.
And I said, well, I think we can do better than that. And so what I wanted to do is, on behalf of Agenda for Children and Go Be, we wanted to match that. And so we felt like it was definitely worth. They have an incredible idea about integrating AmeriCorps into classrooms and helping solve the teacher crisis. We are so excited about the work that you guys are doing. And so between Go Be and us, we are so thrilled and could not be more delighted to be co-hosting this with you tonight. So thank you. Yeah. All right, I'm ready to hear 7 more pitches though.
So right before we even go, we want to make sure we introduce our judges. So we have some prestigious judges here, y'all. So we have Mr. Bill Hammock, we have Jen Roberts, we have Adele Lunnan, we have Megan Garrison, Monique Rouge, Christy Ross, Asia Howlett. She has a +1 though, y'all. She has a +1. We technically have 8 judges tonight, her little infant. So thank you so much, and now we will get the show started.
Hey, y'all. I'm waiting on my slides. I'm waiting on my slides. This isn't counting towards my time, is it? Because I'm really not doing well, if that's the case.
There's always a technical difficulty, but you
It's all right.
always sing, do a circle time.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I'll bring it with some Whitney right now.
Yeah.
Is this it? All right. Perfect. Hi, my name is Kim Frashante. I'm the founder of Early Partners, a nonprofit Type 3 center. 90% of the brain is formed before age 5. We believe that if all children had access to excellent foundational education in this period, their future outcomes would be limitless. To make this a reality, we need to attract and retain excellent and experienced teachers to the field. But in New Orleans, where housing prices are skyrocketing, we have a real problem. Teachers like Sade here can't afford to live near where they work. Sade is an amazing teacher and Early Partners mom. She is so on it in her classroom, you would never know that she loses 480 hours a year to commuting. Across our city, teachers are patting the backs of little ones during nap time when they don't even know where they will lay their heads down at night because of housing insecurities. All of our teachers deserve better. There are others trying to solve this problem, but their solutions are too small or difficult to scale. The city provides down payments for home ownership, but just get this, home ownership with a down payment of 20%, the monthly payments of the average home ownership actually exceeds the monthly income of early childhood educators. These numbers don't lie. Unless we intervene, teachers like Sade will have to choose between their passion of educating young children and providing for their families. Luckily, we have a solution and the skills to make it happen. I have over 16 years of educational experience and a track record of building successful public-private partnerships. We work with the Windsor Court Hotel to provide priority enrollment for children of their employees, and we're looking to build a similar program with an apartment complex near Early Partners. Here's how it works. They provide discounted rent for our teachers. We provide priority enrollment for their residents. We also give subsidies direct to teachers to ensure that they have truly affordable housing. To make it scalable and sustainable, we work with a grant writer to secure long-term funding and gather data on our pilot. And we work with affordable housing experts to ensure that we have accounted for all of the tax benefits and government subsidies that are available already. The benefit to teachers will allow them to actually make ends meet and provide secure housing for others like Sade. And speaking of Miss Sade, those 480 hours a month or a year commuting, she gets back for herself and her family. An Early Partners win tonight means that Sade can sign her lease tomorrow. Thank you. Got a little rocky there. Hey, Bill. We're in conversations with them presently, yes. We're working on that relationship. We've started the conversation, we've got the ball rolling. To be candid, if we came to them and said, look at what we can build with this prize money, they would be I think, a lot more open to it than coming with an idea without any sort of proof point backing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We've started to engage in those conversations with folks and actually have meetings on the books with a lot of them. Right now, I think the question is, can we move forward? Do we have the programmatic capacity to move forward with this idea? And the prize money tonight would go a long way in making that happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We haven't looked at low-income housing specifically because the wait list for those programs that already exist are so long that it wouldn't actually be a viable solution. I mean, we know that affordable housing across the country is a huge issue. I've learned a lot. I'm no expert in affordable housing. I'm a problem solver, but I know I've learned a lot through this process. And what we know is there's no good model for affordable housing and workforce housing across the country. Someone's got to think outside of the box, and we think we have a real shot at this. We have the apartment complex nearby, and we're located adjacent to many apartment complexes that I think would be ready to play ball if we came to them with this win tonight. And we're looking at multiple other sites where the possibility of actually working collaboratively with others on a development is something that could be. So for example, surplus buildings from OPSB, old school buildings that are too big for a single center to operate, but could potentially include a center and teacher workforce housing. That's a possibility. We're looking at another building uptown, and we're working with some zoning experts on that. That could, again, be the same thing, sort of early childhood education on the bottom and housing up top. Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's for teachers who demonstrate need, have been with Early Partners for at least a year, and can commit to staying with Early Partners for 3 years. Once we expand, if we win this and we continue to expand the program, it would be a commitment to staying in the field. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Next coming up is Filling the Gap, Total Community Action. Okay, they're still scoring.
Greetings. My name is Andrew Sanchez, and I'm a member of Total Community Action's Head Start program team. And I am joined by my colleagues.
Hi, I'm Hermine Crump-Jones, a retired educator of 40-plus years, and we're here to present TCA's Fill the Gap strategy.
Did you know, in 2022-2023 program year, due to our workforce shortage, TCA was unable to serve 365 infant, toddlers, and preschoolers and could not provide TCA's high-quality early childhood education.
To fill that gap, TCA would need 60 early learning teachers, preschool teachers, and assistant teachers.
This gap and our inability to serve children affects not only the children and their families, but our entire community. TCA has a legacy of educating and nurturing children of New Orleans and our families, and our team has introduced several innovative strategies to, once again, reduce our workforce needs.
TCA's Fill the Gap strategy targets retired educators like myself and social workers. We are there to reconnect and join the staff and work with the students, fill staff shortages, mentor teachers, new teachers, and above all, make sure that our children are prepared for kindergarten.
Our model will offer retired teachers a flexible work schedule, competitive salary, medical, dental, and life insurance, a work-life balance, and the ability to return to their passion of teaching. We will utilize a multimedia strategy that includes personal contacts, social and civic networks, and meet and greets.
So, I'm in a lot of groups around the city that have large numbers of retired educators. And we didn't stop working because we stopped liking and enjoying teaching. We stopped because we wanted to do something else. But to give us an opportunity to do what we love, work in the classroom with flexible hours, and also be retired and do those other things that we enjoy, it's a win-win.
TCA is requesting these funds to secure the technical assistance in launching our innovative strategy to retired educators.
Thank you for the opportunity of presenting our plan, TCA's Fill the Gap strategy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Provide for those who would be transitioning to younger kids?
So TCA can utilize retired teachers in all parts of the program, in all parts of TCA. We have, for instance, I am back with TCA and I am their in-house photographer. I am documenting the history of TCA through photos. I go to meetings with them and I'm taking pictures so that their legacy continues. So retired teachers can be used in all facets of the organization. Yes.
And I was interested in doing something like this because it was flexible. Would that be an option to all educators, or is it specifically for retired educators?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We would love to have you.
I do algebra, so I don't know. But I'm just
Well, yes, we have addressed scheduling, and what we're proposing is offering a morning or an afternoon schedule, where it works with you to keep your work-life balance, because some of the personnel will want to work in the morning, some may want to work in the afternoon, and if some want a full day, we welcome that too.
Yes.
Have you done any research with your former teachers to see if they would be interested in coming back?
What we found out is that there is a demand for teachers, but the retired teachers are those that seem to be of abundance. And that's why our target is towards retired teachers, but we also realize that there are other entities, and we welcome that as well.
It's an untapped resource. You know, I didn't stop teaching because I got tired of teaching or I don't like kids anymore. When we retire in education, we have a passion. It's just that we don't want to do it all day. So we want to be retired, we want to travel, but we also, if given the opportunity to return to the class, it's a win-win.
You may have answered this, but have you all done a soft pilot of this already?
No, we have not.
Not at this time.
Okay.
I think my question would be, because we know kids and their consistency and routine and familiar faces, what is your plan to ensure that it's not different faces in and out of a specific site?
Once again, we go back to the work schedule. And what it is, we'd like to make sure we have continuity and consistency with the selection of a morning selection or an afternoon, whereby that child begins to develop that cohesion and closeness with that teacher working with them in the morning or that same teacher working with them in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the driver is a part-time private contractor. We would run the vans in the morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and in the afternoons from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. $12 per ride. Yeah, so this is more expensive than an RTA, but RTAs, as we know, are unsafe and unreliable. So, and Uber and Lyft are more expensive. Typically, on average, if a teacher's Uber ride might be anywhere between $25 and $35 just one way. That's correct.
How many vans are we talking? One? I just want clarity.
So for the pilot, we'll have 3 vans. And so the way we have it broken up, the design that we have in plan, so we'll have 2 zones. A zone near the Costco mid-city area, and we'll have a zone in the east. And then we'll have a van that transports back and forth. So the 3 vans, one will just circle around zone 1, the other one will circle in zone 2, and the third one will go.
Okay, thank you.
So for the child care center would pay $200 a month, plus the employee would pay the $24 a day?
That's correct.
And the driver's pay of $2,400 a month, that's a month, right? And that's per driver, or that's all inclusive of all 3 drivers?
That's inclusive, yeah.
Okay,
So the drivers pay $20 an hour.
okay. Is this just New Orleans area?
Our pilot will start, yes, just in New Orleans. And we do plan, if we're successful with our app, to keep building it out, making modifications, and our goal is to expand across the state.
Have you explored looking at other rideshare apps and seeing how mass discounts or purchasing power through, how you can get like discounted rates if you purchase enough of them? Have you done any research or next steps into thinking about that versus your financial model?
Yeah, so this app idea was inspired by, it's a software company called TripShot, and so they actually serve universities. And so the zoning area came from their business model. And yeah, we do expect to offer discounts specifically for teachers that are on longer with us. Let's say they work for a year. The $12, we plan to offer them discounts.
So at the $12 rate at this point, that's based on at capacity, like a 13 that each there's 13 riders.
Yes, we're assuming the van is full with 13 riders.
Okay. Okay.
Can we please respect everybody when the judges is asking question? Can everybody please be quiet? So next person up is Ariane Santino with C Academy, CNA to CDA.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ariane Santino. I'm an engineer and an educator. I own several high-quality early learning centers in New Orleans. And we know that right now, just like so many other centers, I've been trying to figure out ways that we can retain and recruit, let me go get this little thing, high-quality teachers. Well, what we've discovered is that we recognize that there is a teacher shortage crisis, and nearly 46% of teachers will leave the profession this school year. What we have discovered is that CNAs, certified nursing assistants, are an untapped resource. CNAs are uniquely equipped to work in high-stress environments and thrive. They possess skill sets such as health and safety, observation, and care that are readily transferable. And CNA pay rates are competitive with ECE. As an educator, CNAs will have the opportunity to climb the job ladder from CDA to bachelor's and beyond. And maybe one day own a center, just like me. So how do we attract CNAs to early education? I've already tested it. I posted 2 ads on Indeed, one for a typical teacher and one for CNAs interested in early education. The results were remarkable. The typical teacher ad received 33 applications, while the CNA ad received 196 applications. One of those applicants was Sharina Davis. Sharina Davis worked for 11 years as a CNA rather. And during that time, she was eager to make a career transition because the healthcare industry was so difficult. No career pathway, 12-hour shifts, traveling to different homes, concerns over safety. I hired Sharina 1 year ago. And in 1 year, she was able to complete her 120 hours in our CDA program. I asked her, how has the decision to become an educator changed your life? She said, in 11 years, I was never home with my children on holidays. I always had to work. Sharina Davis, from CNA to CDA. Now, should we win the top prize, we would immediately begin to market to all CNAs in New Orleans and beyond, and establish an onboarding program so that they would be ready day one. Finally, as a Black woman who's a founder of an organization that serves largely Black and brown children and employs largely Black and brown women, it is critical that we not only provide our children high-quality care, but also that our beloved educators are able to take care of their families. And finally, I would just say that we don't just care for children, we care for the women that care for children. Thank you. Thank you.
Have you thought about scalability and how much you could pilot this and how much it could scale over what time?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've thought about in terms of the scope of what it could look like. You know, the broader numbers are that there are roughly 1.4 million CNAs that are in the United States of America, roughly 40,000 that are in the state of Louisiana. When we looked at how would we start in the first 90 to 120 days, the scale was maybe around 250 candidates to see how they would be potentially onboarded. But the possibility or the potential to move beyond that 250 number, I think, is pretty immediate, and we would be able to track it based on that pacing.
What would the onboarding process look like for a CNA?
That's a great question. It's really a two-step process. First, we would bring the CNAs into what we would call orienting them into the ECE business. And it would start with compliance, licensing, just the changes about what's different about where they've been versus where they'll be in ECE. And then the second phase will ultimately be getting them into an approved BESI program that is, a CDA-approved program in the state of Louisiana, of which I happen to also be a co-founder of as well. So that would be the plan.
You had mentioned they could go to their bachelor's and beyond. Can you explain that process?
Yeah, there's Louisiana Pathways process that educators can take advantage of, that you start with a CDA process, and then there's just support and resources to help them continue up the career ladder.
So I think my biggest question was, so if they get a CDA certificate, that certificate, does that automatically go into a bachelor's degree? Like, what is?
Oh, no. The intent of that, I was trying to draw a contrast between the fact that many CNAs that we spoke to felt like they did not have a career pathway or a job ladder. And then the converse is that in education, for ECE, we absolutely have job ladders for them to move through. And it would start with the CDA.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now we're going to introduce Alicia Franklin from Trinity Learning Center and Savvy Subs.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alicia Franklin. I have over 20 years experience in early childhood education. In 2016, I decided that I wanted to open up a child care facility. To save up the money to do so, I did gig work. I did Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Amazon deliveries. You probably saw me in your Ring doorbell. Gig work gave me the flexibility to create my own schedule and work my own hours and still have time for family and friends. However, it didn't always keep me in the safest situations. If I had the opportunity to do a gig job and still stay in the child care industry, I would have jumped at the opportunity. I would have jumped at the opportunity. When we think about the childcare industry and the shortage in the classrooms, we have to come up with a new solution because we're not meeting people where they are. We have an economy that's full of gig workers that want to have work-life balance. And to do that, I came up with Savvy Sub. Savvy Sub is a revolutionary solution to our early childhood staffing shortage problem. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're trying to bring the early childhood industry into the gig economy. To do that, we have subbies. Who are subbies? Subbies are teachers, they are college students, they're high school graduates, they're retirees, anyone who's interested in the early child care industry. Why subbies? Because with subbies, we're going to have an onboarding process that looks very similar to our new hire orientation. Inside the app, they'll be able to do their background check, do their module training, such as child development, health and safety, classroom management, and mandated reporting, CPR, and first aid. This is going to streamline the subbies directly into the classroom. That's right, providers. You won't have to do all of the orientation onboarding. You can leave that to us. All right, if given the opportunity with these resources, with these funds, we plan to hire an app development team and also use it for marketing. I would like to bring Savvy Sub from idea to innovation. If you have an iPhone and your AirDrop is on, you have, you have just gotten your first notification that there's a job available at Trinity Learning Academy. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have you done any market research on how this is potentially different from kind of like platforms like Windy or Care.com or other folks that might be looking for like not necessarily gig work, but temporary care options?
Those are more of nannies, and they're also not necessarily getting the training that they're going to get inside of the app. We're going to make sure that when we send our subbies out, that they're prepared to go inside of the classroom.
Okay, before I put my application in, that's next. But I could be a subby. But what is the cost available to you guys to provide this service, and how is it subsidized?
We have not gotten to the numbers. That is part of the app development process. It will be subscription-based on the provider side, and there'll probably be a platform fee that is taken out to cover the services. Because as a provider, you're still going to be the person that pays the cost for that sub through the app.
What is your plan for an accountability piece? When you said they'll learn that through the app, how would...
Well, as every provider knows, we have to go through a whole list of things before we can onboard a new teacher. So in that, the state already has everything set up for us. We just have to implement it inside of the app so that they're getting the same training that any new hire would get.
Will there be any on-site training before you put them in sites?
That's a good question. Most people who go into subbing, they have some kind of passion for children. As far as direct training in the classroom, it won't be, any new hire hasn't necessarily been in the classroom. So it'll be that same experience. But the more that you do something, you get more accustomed to it. If you keep picking up hours, you'll be prepared to be, I was a substitute too, so you'll be more prepared each time you go in the classroom.
Do you have a plan for the sustainability for the funding to keep the app, the innovation?
The providers, they're paying for their sub, they're filling that vacancy. So if the cost is, let's just say $90 for that day, like I said, there'll be a portion that's taken out of the $90, and then the actual subby will get the rest of the funding.
Thank you.
Once the app is developed, of course, you know, there's going to be things that need to, like bugs and things like that, but that's where the platform fees are covered at.
Okay, so it's going to be based on, so if a provider signs up, is there some type of contract or something, or the provider signs up weekly, daily, monthly?
No, it's as they need it. It will be a monthly subscription as well. Anytime you have a vacancy, I mean on demand. If I have someone that calls off tonight, I can put it into the system and it'll go out to any subby that's available that's willing to work that shift.
Okay, and then the monthly fee will cover
Yes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I would market to the colleges all over the area. I will also do TikTok in social media, because we're trying to get people who are interested in it, of course, people who want to do gig work. I know a lot of retirees who are looking for something where they're not driving all over the city, getting in unsafe areas, where they can actually go in, sit down, and do what they love, and be with the children. Did that answer your question? Okay. Anyone else? Thank you.
Whole Wellness, Claire's Little Lamb, Miss Jody Joseph Evans.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jody Joseph Evans. I am a third-generation educator, center director, and future owner. Our family's business has been in the Algiers area for 37 years this year. So we want to make sure we continue this legacy with this important work that we do. This experience has allowed me to tune into the needs of early educators in our field. We want to provide retention, recruitment, prevent burnout, and provide professional development for our educators. To support the physical, mental, and financial well-being of those in the early education field, I present to you Whole Wellness. Whole Wellness is a curated suite of benefits that employees can select the options that most interest them. So that way they can select the support they need to get the help they deserve. We understand that the average pay in childcare is between $12 to $15 an hour. This program will allow educators to stay in a career that they love and still receive the support they deserve. It's just not about pay. It's about how we treat and value those in our field. This program will help close the gap, providing low-cost gym memberships, mental health and vacation days, and mental health services through entities that are already existing in our great city and in our state. Whole Wellness will assist with providing professional development with agencies such as Agenda for Children, Training Grounds. We will also link early learning centers with agencies like Louisiana Pathways and Elite Teachers Institute to help teachers obtain their CDA, get their degree, and beyond. This will further enhance the workforce of early childhood education. These programs often require access to computers. We would partner with nonprofits like PCs for People that offer no-cost technology, meaning computers, to those based on their income. We can help all educators be successful professionals to push our workforce into the future and beyond. Now, how can we how can we benefit as early learning centers from this program? Well, let me tell you how. This is going to be a tax-deductible service. Many of these options are tax-deductible, and many options are at no cost to early learning centers. So we know that we have a broad understanding of our financial health as early learning centers, and so with Whole Wellness, we would help look into your budgeting and your financing to see what's feasible now, and then how to build sustainability in the future. With tonight's win, we will use the funds to create a one-stop shop for businesses, so that way their educators can see what they would like and what they need to access, and we would also help secure grant funding so that way all educators in our field can be successful. This is going to procure the success of early learning centers, the financial stability of educators, and keep our field growing so we can do this important work that we love to protect the children that are our future. Thank you.
Can you give us a little bit of an example of what that would, kind of the orientation would be like for a teacher walking into a center who would have this type of package?
Okay. Well, each center would be able to pick what type of benefits they'd be able to offer. The suite of benefits that we would do is basically we would provide a collective group of agencies. So that way a center can say, well, I want to do gym membership. Let me look through Gym Pass that offers low-cost gym memberships to companies, or the YMCA that does this as well. You can get a corporate membership that can be inexpensive for the teachers, and even centers can decide based off those costs what they would like to offer. The mental health services, we know we have many entities that are already in our city that do that, like Metropolitan Health Services. And then, you know, with the budgeting end of it, we would help centers see what is already feasible, because oftentimes, you know, vacation pay and even birthday pay, for example, having your birthday off, which is like awesome, I'm sure, you know, you are able to see maybe you can fit that in, and maybe a person is off one day, so those funds, you can save those for your rainy day, if you will, to offer those benefits to centers or the teachers.
So do you envision this to be more of a brokering service or more of a technical assistance service?
It would be a little bit of both. So we would broker those partnerships with the different agencies to say, hey, this is our field of early education. We would like to partner with you so that we can provide these services at a lower cost to early learning centers that are usually small businesses, to make it cost effective for them, and then also make it low cost for the teachers so that some of that cost can still be employee benefited or employee paid, where the employer can still, you know, put in and offset those costs.
How is this sustainable? I just want to know, like, how the ongoing costs. So you all go into the centers and partner with the centers, and they decide, but like on a month-to-month basis, who administers the program and makes sure it's going on?
So we would seek out grant funding through different, you know, grants that are already out, so like the Kellogg grants. I cannot recall the other one at the moment, but there's already, a lot of these services really are at no cost. And so that's really the beauty of it, is that a lot of services, like I didn't know about PCs for People until I did my research for this pitch, right? So there's a lot of things that are already out there in our field that teachers don't know about, that early learning directors and owners are not aware of. So we're going to make it simple for them to be able to say, okay, this is what's available to me, this is what I can offer for free, this is what I can look into my budget, which we would assist with that and say, this is what your budget allows for. You're making X amount, you've got Y amount, this is what you've got to spend for pay, this is what you've got to spend for that, and this is what may be left over to provide those benefits. And then also, with the money that we're going to be getting from these millages and all this good stuff that's coming to early learning, those funds can also be used to go towards these type of programs. Mhm. Yes, exactly. It was like I may have overlooked it, but you know, teachers, I've got a good bit of my teachers here tonight. Hey y'all. Teachers really often, even if they're getting paid, say $10 an hour, will remain at a center for years and years. I've tried to recruit centers, or recruit teachers rather. I've had a teacher say, oh, I know a girl who works for me at the last place I was at. She wants to work, she wants to make more money. And I'll say, well, we start at 15. And they'll say, oh, well, never mind, she wants to stay there because she just likes the environment. They can, you know, whatever that reason is, that's okay. It's gonna, of course, be different for each person, but at least having these benefits can pull in those who may not want to be in our industry because they perceive that there are no other benefits that come along with it.
Just a quick question. In the pilot phase, are you targeting just New Orleans? Are you thinking beyond that, or just?
So right now we would target just New Orleans. I will say we've already piloted some of this with my own facility, with Clara's Little Lambs. We already give staff 2 weeks paid vacation through our partnership with LSU's Human Development Center. And then we offer that to all of our staff as well, even our non-early Head Start teachers. So our City Seats teachers, a lot of our teachers are already getting these type of benefits. So it's definitely sustainable, it's definitely possible, but I think a lot of it is about budgeting and seeing what really, you know, you can do as a center that you may, you know, not realize just because you don't take that deep dive into your finances. And I mean, we know as people, we don't necessarily always take a deep dive into our finances, so we want to help with that. So that way they see what's available. Thank you.
And our last but not least finalist is Miss Julie from Newcomb Children's Center. I'm sorry, saying Newcomb University. Newcomb Children's Center with students as teachers.
Hello, my name is Julie Smith Price, and I'm director at Newcomb Children's Center of Tulane University. I'm here to pitch on students as teachers. Newcomb Children's Center has a long and storied history of providing high-quality early education, and also a long history and commitment to teaching as a profession. Having been in existence since 1926, we've shown the ability to endure, to grow, and to improve in the field of early childhood education. Over the years, like many of the other professionals in this field, we found a challenge in retaining teachers. We've tried to address that challenge by hiring student workers. We've learned that over the years, these students come to us thinking that their work with us is just a part-time job in order to gain money or funds to take care of incidentals such as books and meals, dating, that sort of thing. But over time, we've seen something happen. They begin to see their work as a potential career, something that they can do later in life. We begin to notice them asking more questions. They've begun to invite their friends to come and apply. They're starting to show more interest in the work that they're doing. We want to seize on this moment. We want to build on this interest by encouraging students to join the field, not only at Newcomb Children's Center, but throughout the city. So our plan is to create a program that allows students that would allow students to train in the field while they work a part-time job. They would also earn competitive salaries and receive intensive training. Students would work 20-hour work weeks. They would receive competitive pay and training. Upon graduation, they would be offered a full-year job with a $1,000 bonus. If they agreed to work for 2 years, they would receive an additional $1,000 bonus. This plan would allow us to groom and retain highly trained, motivated early childhood professionals. This would also allow us to prepare the types of teachers that we aspire for a long term. If we receive the full $50,000 grant, we would be able to accommodate 4 teachers at a full-time rate. We would also be able to provide stipends to mentor teachers. We'd also be able to provide training for 2 years. I've seen this work. We currently have a teacher on our staff who attended Newcomb as a child, attended Tulane in teacher training, took my course, and is currently on our teaching staff. Thank you.
Just Tulane, or is it going to be targeted?
Currently, we recruit at Tulane, but we use Handshake, a student job search app, so we can recruit. We've used students from Delgado in the past. We have Loyola right next door. So yeah, we're definitely interested in bringing in students from other universities.
I'm wondering about what does retention look like after maybe the first couple of years. Specifically, like if you have a college degree, thinking about how much it costs to get that degree, and then how much you'd be making per hour thereafter. What would it look like for keeping people beyond a couple years? Because the pay would be so low.
Well, they would be a full-time teacher. So they would be, we try to keep our salaries at a competitive rate. So that would be our intentions. These teachers would be considered real teachers. We also see this as an opportunity to advance the field, you know, in the community's mind.
What is the starting rate for a first-year teacher? And do you all, would there be any benefits towards, like, you know, for student loan, forgiveness, any thought into that?
If it's, the benefit of being at Tulane is if you're a full-time employee, after 6 months, you have access to free tuition. So it's a win-win. Yes.
How much is the starting salary again?
The starting salary depends on what the teaching position is. These teachers would start as would probably, I don't want to say definitely, would probably start as a child care teacher, not a lead teacher. Starting salary would be about $37,000. And if a lead, it would be $42,000.
I guess my question is scalability. It seems like this is a really limited opportunity for a school like yours that's associated with the university. For the other providers, do they have the opportunity to do this program as well?
The other providers
who aren't associated with the university.
Definitely. Like the example I gave, that was a student who just, and we've had others, students who were just work-study students and developed an interest in the field, decided they wanted to do this. Our teachers mentored them, and they definitely would have that opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ms. Julie.
Thank you.
So let's give our pitches a round of applause. We are so proud of you. So to be clear, we are on the floor every day with little people, being the brain architects. So sometimes when we get up on stage, it is a lot of, okay, where's my little person? This would be so much easier if there was a little person in front of me. I could do all the things, right? So I just want to say that you guys did an awesome job, and I appreciate you coming up here, shaking all of the wiggles out, and getting it done. So now the time has come for our judges to deliberate. We should maybe have some music or something for them, like some good things. But the judges are going to deliberate for about 7 minutes, and then they'll come back in. While the judges are deliberating, Derek is going to take the judges now. While the judges deliberate, the audience gets to vote. So there is going to be a QR code that is going to pop up on the screen in a few minutes. And it's on the live stream as well. You have 3 minutes to vote. Don't use multiple phones. You can't use multiple ULL codes or whatever that is. But you have time to vote, and it's audience choice. And so the other thing while we're here, we are officially, not officially over, but our come up and congratulate your people. Come up and congratulate your pitches and make sure that you tell them how well they did. We will be right back. Okay, so there was a technical difficulty with the QR code, so we need you guys to vote one more time. There was so you guys can do it now. Thank you so much for your patience. Christina Jones? Yes, you did. Just in case, again, I want to make sure that everybody is voting again. We're going to shut down the voting in about 1.5 minutes. So I want to make sure that you got your opportunity to vote the second time. Okay, the judges are coming back in. We're going to ask you guys to take your seats. The judges are coming back in. If you guys could take your seats. They've been hard at work. Just put them right here, so we can, yeah.
I think Derek's gonna like stay back there with them, hold them, and make sure.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Where's the,
So what was the, do you have already do audience choice?
let me get Cody.
Is there a check for audience choice?
There is not.
Okay.
Oh, we're not starting. We're not starting yet.
Oh, hey, how y'all doing? All right, so the judges have come back and they've deliberated, and so we are going to announce the winners. When your name is called, please come up to the stage. We're going to take a picture, and then you sit down, and we're going to call the next person, and we're going to come to the stage, take a picture, and all of your people can yell and scream for you, and all of those things. I just want to make sure when we announce audience choice can win audience choice. They could also win first, second, or third place. Okay? So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. So, drum roll, please. So our audience choice winner is CNA2CDA. We don't have a check. Our third place winner is Childcare Rise from Royal Castle. You get a big check. Congratulations. Our second place winner is Filling the Gap with TCA. They've gotten a $30,000 check. And the first place winner is CNA to CDA. $50,000.
We are also going to provide $2,500 to all other 4 Cream God participants. The other thing is that our top 3 winners are also going to receive a year's worth of technical assistance to help implement their ideas. So what we're going to do now is just take a quick couple of pictures, and then we'd actually like to invite you all to join us out until what time? Till they kick you out. We'll get there. We've got some food, we've got some snacks, and we'd love for you to come celebrate and learn a little bit more about all of these great projects. Thank you so much for having us.
So if anyone wants to take pictures with their family after we take these pictures, please feel free to stay right here. You can take pictures. Can we get the judges to the stage for pictures, please? Can we get the judges to the stage for pictures? We need the judges to the stage. Don't make me call y'all name. Megan, Monique, Adele. We need the judges to the stage. You did. Bill, where's Bill? Bill, we need you to the stage. Monique and Asia.